Hello, my name is Creostix, and welcome back to Magic the Gathering Arena. It's a new week. I've, on my own, taken 3 wins yesterday, and now time will tell how many we get this time around. It's gonna be one of those days where, once again, we try to be calm. We quite possibly fail, but it's worth a shot. Maybe. Possibly. So, we hold on to a dream, and then we see how it all turns out and goes. Yes? Yes. Good. Great. Excellent. I made some small changes, or I'm not sure if, I guess they're small changes, but still meaningful if you care about, land ratio to the deck. I'll show them in a match or two, depending on how far this one goes. And, then see. But yeah, so yesterday I think I won 3 games in oh boy, 7, almost half probably. But last week I had some days. I had a day when I lost 10 games in a row. I'm not exaggerating. 10 games in a row. 10. So I've had some bad times. Okay, it doesn't seem to super greatly matter which I put first because I don't have 1 mana card, so I think the sensible one is to put this first then. Because it empties the deck for 1 planes as per usual, which in turn, in theory, has a tiny bit higher percentage of giving me something useful. It's a very tiny amount, but so it goes. Champion of the Parish. When another zombie enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Champion of the Perished. Yeah, okay. Pretty good, though. Okay, so do I get Prosperous Innkeeper or Gala Greeters? Innkeeper... Oh, but I have Lunark Veteran as well. I still think Innkeeper, because it gives me the option to have a treasure mana as quickly as I can have one. Okay, do I want to use it already on the Lunark? I get a 3rd mana, but not a 4th. What? No, not yet, no. I don't think I wanna. Not yet, because if I don't get a 2nd forest, I can't use meat in a tavern. I gotta try to be sensible about these things. I don't know if that means anything in this day and age, but they seem to have a pretty good deck going. My chances are, well, only as good as what I draw, basically, and what they draw. When Tainted adversary enters the battlefield, may pay 3 and any number of times. When you pay this cost 1 or more times, put that many +1/+1 counter, create twice, Okay. Right. So, since I don't have anything else than that, I'll eventually probably use Borrowed Time, but not quite yet. I think the good option is to keep that slightly under wraps still. Okay, let's think. I'm worried about using the treasure mana. That's the one thing, you know. Voice of the Blessed. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. So far, so, we can try to deal with this. Or at least try to have a game with this, rather, let's say. Right on. Okay, Should I risk? I don't think I should risk, no. I have to put either or, and I think this is a better or to put yet. And not yet use the treasure mana still, because if I do, then I won't be able to use the, yeah. The thing is, most of my deck works kind of fine with 3 mana. That's kind of why I have less mana than most decks probably do. But, Ethereal Escort. Card in your hand perpetually gains lifelink. Ooh, that is, something I should probably try to hold on to. I think I should make a treasure token at least eventually, and this might be a decent time to consider it at least. Yeah, this is one of the new cards I'm trying. I'm trying to see if this is sensible or not. Because adding lifelink to a thing that gets +1/+1 counters could be useful. There's a lot of question marks in that, but whenever equipped creature attacks or blocks and zombies you control gain death until the end of turn. Whenever equipped creature deals song button to the player, deals that many 2/2 black zombie creature tokens. Okie dokie. Yeah, okay, we can block that. Yeah. Okie dokie. Let's see. Which one do we want to use first? I think this one. So life here, treasure token later, right? Or, I guess it doesn't really matter, but... okay, land. Do I want to? I could use a 4th one, I have to admit. This one... Oh! Well, okay. Interesting. He had a really good start, but apparently he didn't draw in anything he could... Huh. I wonder what he had in the hand, then. No, there we are. Woo! We got a win! First try, too. Let's actually keep a tab on wins and losses this time as well, just to... Yeah. I apparently had like 2 wins and 3 losses, at least recently. I don't know if it's that specific time yesterday, but still. Alright, interesting. If you start off with a win, you can't complain. That much is for sure true. Even if it's an annoying win, and that's not really an annoying win. Okay, cool. Let's open the pack, and then I'll walk you through what I changed in the pack. You already saw the at least one change. Or, I don't think... Did you see the meet in a tavern card? I did talk about it last time around, but I'm not sure if I put it there yet before. No, I did, because I believe I on stream removed the colossal, the thing that gives cards if your creatures are 4 or greater, because it's so unguaranteed to work, and it caused enough problems that I wanted to try something else. It's still in the testing phase to see if the meeting in a tavern works, and I'm also sort of like trying to get a better feel for when to use it. Like, should I use it like early or later, or does it matter, or you know. Because sometimes it's pretty useless if you draw like one creature, especially if it like none is even worse, but one is like really. Ooh. Okay, pack. Let's go. Since this is already an alchemy block, I'm wondering what that double card here is, because the double card usually means it's one for standard and one for alchemy. Wait, is this block in standard as well? Maybe it. But it says alchemy in the thing. I don't know. All right. Viconia, Night Singer's Disciple. That's from the Baldur's Gate game. Love it. Elf Cleric. Love it. I don't even know if it's good yet, but it's fun to see Baldur's Gate characters here. I've actually had her in the party sometimes. Not super long though, because many of my playthroughs die pretty quickly. But I should probably try one of these days to do the entire Baldur's Gate too. Okay. Specialize 2, and specializing is not only 2, but it's also discarding a card. I almost always forget that it's sort of... It's kind of a weird thing that the specializing doesn't say the discarding of a card as a cost in the ability itself. It's kind of odd. But yeah, it's 2 mana and discard a card of that color or the associated basic land type. So in case of black, it would need to be a black card or a swamp, and not any other like 2-colored land or whatever. Okay, so it's a 2 and 3, 1 mana to exile target card from a graveyard. So when this creature specializes, conjure a duplicate of target creature card exiled with this creature into your hand. The duplicate perpetually gains. You may spend mana as though any color. Yeah. And when this creature enters the battlefield, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Okay. And white and black is the same, but if it has mana value 3 or less, you may put it onto the battlefield. Wait, what? You may spend mana as though it were just to cast it. If it has mana value 3 or less, you may put it onto the battlefield. Do you mean like without quote-unquote casting it? Like without paying its mana cost? Maybe? That's a little weirdly worded, but okay. I guess that's what that means. Blue, black, choose up to 1 target creature card and up to 1 target instant or sorcery card from among cards exiled with this creature. Conjure a duplicate of each of those cards into your hand. The duplicates perpetually gain any color, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, sure. Alright, okay. Red, black. The duplicate perpetually gets +1/+0 and gains haste. And you may spend mana as though any color. Okay. Green and black. Duplicate gains +2/+2 and any color mana. Just to cast it. Right. I'm trying to like imagine the whole like which would be the best use of this. 2 life, gain 2 life. I guess it's a little situational, but maybe blue. I think blue and black might be the most useful, provided that there are any sensible instant or sorcery cards. Like, it's a way of drawing 2 cards, then. It makes sort of sense. So you essentially are doing 2 mana and discarding a card to add a +1/+1 to Viconia and add into your hand duplicates of a target instant or sorcery and a creature. to put into your hand, basically. But they have to be exiled with it. But then again, 1 mana to exile stuff is a pretty good deal to begin with. I think, yeah, okay. Yeah, why not? It's a bit situational, but it's a constant exile of stuff. It's actually quite interesting and probably pretty good. Oh, cool. Clever Conjurer. Untap target permanent not named Clever Conjurer. Activate only as a sorcery. Then untap this one. Hobgoblin Captain. Whenever a Hobgoblin Captain attacks, if you attacked with creatures with total power 6 or greater this combat, Hobgoblin Captain gains first strike until end of turn. Understellar Myconid enters the battlefield or dies, create a 1/1 green saproling creature token. And tap to add 1 mana of any color. And for the sake of knowing, the first card is the main card is a fungus, but the token is a saproling. Okay. It could be important. You line up the shot. Choose either conjure a card named Plummet into your hand, or conjure a card named Naturalize into your hand, or draw a card. Plummeting is destroying the target creature with flying, and Naturalize is destroy target artifact or enchantment. Yeah, it can be useful. What is you? Yeah, it is alchemy and standard. Okay, that's weird. Okay, so Lantern of Revealing. 3 mana of any color. Add 1 mana of any color by tapping, and 4 mana and tapping. Look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it under the battlefield tapped. If you don't put the card onto the battlefield, you may put it on the bottom of your library. Okay. And the alchemy version is the same, but the ability to look at the top card is 3 mana instead of 4. I mean, yeah, the 4 mana sounds a little expensive, I have to admit, so. Corlessa Scale Singer. I remember having this, but for the sake of argument, Dragon Bard, 1 green, 1 blue. You may look at the top card of your library anytime you may cast dragon spells from the top of your library. I'm trying to picture it in my mind how many green or blue dragon spells I got, but I do have some. But it's still, I think it's still mainly the red that really works with dragons the best. Mirror of Life Trapping, 4 mana. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, if it was cast, exile it. Then return all other permanent cards exiled with Mirror of Life Trapping to the battlefield under their owner's control. Right. Oh, I've been wondering for a while, like, how can this have multiple creatures if it always gets the 1 in and the previous 1's out? But right, but what if they're like created tokens or something, right? Those also go under there. And then when you cast the next creature, then the ones from under there all go away, and then you just get the 1 in. Interesting. Alright. Cool. Interesting. Okay, let's do a quick game, and maybe after that I can show what I made as changes to the Wicked games and other stuff. As content, yes. Haven't seen that avatar before. That is a strange hand. 3 Righteous Valkyries in 1 pull. Wow. If I get a 3rd land, this could end up going pretty interestingly, but if I don't, then the game dies quite quickly. So I'd need to draw like a Yeah, that, like, Innkeeper is not a bad one. Sure, why not? Let's start with Plains and then work our way forward from there. Right. Mm-hmm. Okay, I gotta put green, I suppose. Innkeeper in. So with this setup, I can get the Righteous Valkyries going. Yes, one per turn. Right. Cool. I can't get a Lunarch Veteran in, or I shouldn't probably do it yet. Let's put this in now before I just forget about it. I think one green is almost always enough, so... Because... Unless I indeed get the, Tavern card thing, but... Okay, so put this in next. I kind of need to risk it, I think, because I need to get this game going. Right. So, like, if I get all 3 Righteous Valkyries in, it's gonna go pretty okay. If I can't, then it's gonna be pretty bad. So they do, like, a blue-green milling deck with Gala Greacher. That's an interesting choice. It could end up working really well, mind you. Mill decks are quite rough for me. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Land Innkeeper, yeah. Oh, that's the one thing with milling decks. If they mill a Lunarch Veteran, I get to use it as a 2-mana Luminous Phantom. That is the one thing that my deck has against mill decks. It's not a great thing by any means, but it can be useful. 5 and 5. Right, okay. I'm wondering if they have a hard counter in there. So I should probably consider playing these things first. Just to be slightly more safe, I hope. But I don't yet know, like, can I withstand what they bring at me or can I not, is the question. No hurry. Right. Put a +1/+1 counter onto one target creature, tap up to one target creature you don't control, and that creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. Right. So Righteous Valkyrie doesn't untap for one turn, but until that it's gonna work fine. Or after that it's gonna work fine. Enchanted creature loses abilities. Green and white 1/1 legend. Yeah, okay, yeah. Makes sense. 3 and 6. I probably need to banish that thing on this turn. Otherwise, it's gonna be a problem for me. Alright. Or actually, I guess I could attack with everything, just for the sake of funsies. Why not? Alright. Mm-hmm. Right. Right. That's over. Oh well, you can't win almost ever, so you can't really complain with that. Yeah, I had a shit luck and a shit game, so what can you really expect? But that's the normal state of the game for me, of course. Like, there is no other state of the game for me than endlessly shit luck. It's always only against me. We've established this on multiple streams and videos by this point. Everyone else has perfect luck, and I have absolute zero luck. I almost always draw only land or draw no land. There's no real exceptions between this, no matter how much land I do or don't have in the deck. So it doesn't really... there's nothing surprising with that. Oh, I hate these decks. They're gonna do one of those where they have one of those curse-bound witches and whatever, and then when they die, they draw spells from the thing, which then, in turn, every spell says the opponent loses the game. It's bullshit. Hi, Valkyrie. Welcome. Glad to have you. Hope you had an excellent day. I have not, but that's okay. We can work with that, I'm sure. Forest land again. That's not what I need. I never understood how this worked. Whenever one or more artifacts you control leave the battlefield during your turn, create a 1/1 colorless construct artifact, creature, or token. Triggers only once each turn. However, it creates them when people put creatures in to the field. It makes no sense. I think it's bugged out, and it's basically a card with which you can cheat. It's really weird. Oh, it has a... yeah, they probably have an instant that causes stuff to be counter-spelled eventually. Banishing Slash. It might not be super useful. Not with this fight, I don't think. Need to work with that too. We'll be okay. Let's hope for the best, and which will mean that we're gonna lose this game at least, but we'll see. It's pretty sad too, because the hand I start out with is kinda okay, but I have a feeling it's gonna go really badly really quickly. Right. Okay, so... should I? I feel like we're kind of past that, though. Extra land. I may need a 5th one, yes. It's kinda annoying, but I may. This looks deceptively sensible, but let's... it's, like, almost every deck I play these days has a complete field wipe, where there's nothing left, and my game kind of dies quite quickly with that, you know? Alright. I don't really have a need to let that do stuff, so whatever. Like, if I kill that creature, it'll create a treasure token. I might not want to let them do that. Alright. Okay, that's the 5th land for today, so... Do I do the Emperor, or do I do something different? And also, if I do the Emperor, then... Okay, let's try to think. So... If I do the Emperor, I want to use the minimum amount of planes, right? So... I could use the treasure mana, right? Or can I? Yeah, but it won't matter because I still have to use total of 4. 2 planes, so 1, 2... Yeah, I gotta use either this or that. Right.
Now you've done it. Hat's coming off. Show them how we greet our enemies.
Slow game for sure. I'm kind of amazed how often I draw forests. I think I have 5 in the deck. I think. It could be 6, but at least not more than that. And I still get a lot of forests very quickly, oftentimes. Kinda odd. I think I have like 10 planes? 9 maybe? See, oh right, it's because treasure tokens. Now I understand why that happens. With the spirit belly boost. Beginning of your end step, exile the monster creature card from a graveyard. If you do, so you can creature card from one of the equal to the mana of it. Alright. I might not wanna.
Back off.
Okie dokie. 3, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, okay, so...
We've got the edge in this fight.
And then you... The first strike was a really big part of that win. I think I might have ended up having it into a 0 as well, but the first strike caused the match to make it so that I get the life from the first strike first. That put me into 40... whatever it is. No. Into above 27. That gave the rest of my creatures the +2/+2 or whatever they get. And that made it into a lot more than just about almost. You know, still, well tried for sure. They played a really good game. A little slow, but a good game though. Well, you know, it's a solid effort. The deck was interesting. Alright, win 1. Again, more, so 2 wins, 1 losses. Can't complain too hard. I'm a complainy boy, but that's not too bad. That is not too bad at all. Okay, let's do a quick check of what I changed in the deck now that now that we're 2 wins deep. Oh, right, it shows the new ones there now. Cool, lovely. So yeah, it's my 3rd Underseller Myconid, my 2nd you line up the shot, 2nd Corlessa Scale Singer, and a 2nd Mirror of Life Trapping. 1st Lantern of Revealing, apparently. Cool, lovely. And it I got other ones too, but it shows the ones that fit the color schemes I'm looking at. White, green, and colorless. I haven't checked what colorless stuff I could use for a long while. I could probably, like, I don't know if I can find something interesting in there. There might be something worth looking at. Guess we just give ourselves a quick second to take a look. Man, the scrolling needs to be done a lot quicker. It's a little exhausting to do it like this. And I don't think in green whites there's anything new I can really use. Whenever civil servant attacks, tap an untapped citizen you control. If you do, gets 1+1/0. Create 2 white human creature tokens. That can be useful, but only if I already have, you know, things that create life as I put them in there, you know. The flashbacking ability is good in the sense that if, you never know when your hand is empty and the only thing you can do is do the really expensive from the graveyard thing. It can really save your day in some games. You never know. Park Heights Pegasus, combat damage, draw a card if you had 2 or more creatures into the battlefield under your control. That is a very, very, very specific drawing card mechanic. I don't think that'll work out. Not for me, I think. Because I very rarely get 2 creatures in the field in the same turn. It's a pretty late game thing, because my deck really works with the notion of make 1 creature to the field per turn and try to make it something that actually, you know, is worthwhile. Wait, do I have a 3rd Trelasara? When did that happen? And why is it in a different spot than the other one? It's the same block too, what the hell? Huh. I could be persuaded to use 3, but like, the thing is, I can only have 1 of them on the field. That is the problem, but... But why are they on a different... That is... I think that's just a collection glitch, but... Yeah, they even put them into different... Why? I mean, I guess I'm glad I have one, but why? Maybe. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but the first 2 might be from like a pre-built deck, either from an intro deck or something I got from a store. Like I have the starter kits. I don't remember if that comes in those. And the 3rd one is from a pack, probably, then. Still, that's weird, though. I don't think that should look like that. Torrent's Fist of the Angels. Whenever you cast a creature spell, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature with token with training. Darling of the Masses. Other citizens you control get +1/+0. When it attacks, create a 1/1 green and white citizen creature token. Arming Gala. At the beginning of your end step, creatures you control and creatures cards in your hand, library, and graveyard perpetually get +1/+1. That's a good card. It's a little expensive for my deck, though. That's the thing. 5 mana is like, it's in the absolute upper edges of what I can work with. So that's the thing with Arming Gala. Okie dokie. Anyway, and the reason I don't use Blossoming Sands is simply because I don't want my mana to enter tapped if I can avoid it. And I'd rather use Broker's Hideout and Cabaretti Courtyard instead of Blossoming Sands. It has the same mechanic, but it makes the deck slightly thinner. Therefore, I have a slightly higher chance of drawing what I need when I use these, because these take one card away from the deck to be the land card in actual, reality. So that's why. And also, 4 that enters the field tapped is kind of my limit of what I want to use. So yeah, 9 plains, 6 forests, branch loft pathway, overgrown farmland, broker's hideout, covered at the courtyard. Yeah, okay. Let's see, but like, yeah, colorless, bag of holding, either virtue, On a very early deck once I did use the pithing needle, but not really these days anymore. I guess Cloak of the Bat could be useful. It's a pretty card as well, and it adds flying, but I don't know. I guess there's some sense in it. Environmental sciences. Gilded pinions. Create a treasure token. Right. Stuffed pear. The target creature can't be suspicious bookcase. Bronze walrus, vigilant, chrome cat, scrying, circuit mender, leaves the battlefield, draw a card. Yeah, maybe. Like, at least this has a purpose in a way. Although I think I'd rather use the angel clerics that give 1 card when they enter anyway, and they give 1 life when they enter. Instead, tap another untapped card. Reflective Golem. Right. Runaway Trash Bot for each artifact. Runed Crown. Search a library, hand and or graveyard for a rune card and put it onto the battlefield attached to Runed Crown. If you search your library this way, shuffle and equipped creature gets +1/+1. And equipping is 2. Interesting. When Fraying Line enters the battlefield, put a rope counter on target creature you control. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player may pay 2. If they do, they put a rope counter on a creature they control. Otherwise, exile Fraying Line and each creature without a rope counter on it, then remove all rope counters from all creatures. Right. Interesting. Paragon of Modernity. Flying 2/2. Paragon of Modernity gets +1/+1 until the end of turn. If exactly 3 colors of mana were spent to activate its ability, it's a +1/+1 counter instead. Very specific, but interesting. Dollhouse of Horrors. 1 mana and tap. Exile a creature card from your graveyard. Create a token that's a copy of that exiled card, except it's a 0/0 construct artifact in addition to its other types, and it has... This creature gets +1/+1 for each construct you control. It gains haste until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. Okay, nothing super useful. I'm looking at. Alright, still good to check. Okay, cool. So let's go back and check this through. So now it's 3 cleric classes, 4 Lunarch veterans, 2 fortifying draughts, 1 Luminarch aspirant. Aspirant? I speak in Finglish. It's fine. Banishing Slash, Hallowed Priest, 3 Impassioned Orators, 4 Voice of the Blesseds, 1 Gala Greeters, 4 Prosperous Innkeepers, 2 Trelasara Moon Dancers, 1 Borrowed Time, Ethereal Escort. So yeah, we saw this used once. So it's a creature spirit with 3 mana to use, and it's a 3/3. Whenever Ethereal Escort enters the battlefield or attacks, choose a card in your hand. It perpetually gains lifelink. Because I considered that if I have a card in my hand that has those get +1/+1 counter stuff, then getting lifelink to those is really, really useful. Especially if it's a Voice of the Blessed that gets, like, it takes flight, or if it's a card that's already a flying card, like a Righteous Valkyrie, for example, because lifelinking those would be quite useful because they very often manage to get damage through. People not, like, it's not impossible that they have reach cards, but it's not super common either. So they more commonly have flyers than reach, and quite often they don't have flyers either in the current environment, I find. So flying cards pretty often go through without blocks. Not always, but quite often. Lulu Forgetful Hollyphant, we saw this one before. I had one game on my own where I managed to, like, rotate Lulu first into the field, then it died, then I resurrected it with a different thing, which meant I had 2 extra flyers apart from normal in my whole thing, which actually managed to outmaneuver a deck with a pretty decent field of dragons to outmaneuver those and get just enough damage in to win the game. That was a very odd game, but I don't know if I will be forever keeping this one, but so far it's at least an interesting take to try. 4 Righteous Valkyries, 1 Bala Ged Recovery, which has Bala Ged Sanctuary in the other side. Wandering Emperor, 1 you meet in a tavern. I've wondered if I should have 2 instead, but so far I'm trying 1. My results from using this are, I think I've used it 4 or 5 times. One time I had 4 creatures put into my hand in one go. That was quite nice. But I think all the other times, except for 1, I had 1 creature, which isn't great. One time I had 0. So I think it's, it works great if I'm lucky. If it doesn't, which is, I'm sure is a very, a hot take. But yeah, so I'm still kind of trying to see its kinks through. And getting 2 green mana is not something I can guarantee, but luckily I can usually fix that with having at least 1 green in the field and then the treasure mana in the side, so it should work out. 2 Bond of Disciplines and 1 Elspeth Resplendent. That's what we're working with, at least these days. Alright, let's see if we can do one more match before I have to take a quick break, so let's see what happens. 2 wins, 1 loss. The RNG, I feel like, dictates I'll probably lose this one as well, but still, it's within 1 sitting, 2 wins, 2 losses. That's not a horrible result. 2 cleric classes in one hand is a interesting one, but let's see how it turns out. I mean, you never know. Maybe the other one gets only land and then they quit. You never know. Ooh, it might be a mirror match. It is. It is. The problem herein is, though, that I did get a slightly worse start, I think. So, let's see how this manages to roll out. Okay, I think I'm gonna put this into a Plains as well, because I'm gonna need 2 mana for Voice of the Blessed. I'm gonna put a tapped forest later with the Hideout if I need one. I almost made the mistake of putting in there a forest instead, or a green one out of that, because I am not always the wisest boy. But yeah, if I Battlefield Raptor, flying first strike 1 and 2. Interesting. It is a very cheap card though, so maybe it's a really sensible thing to play. I don't know. Okay. Voice of the Blessed in, then put Broker's Hideout and make probably that into a forest just in case. That's my guess. We'll see how it turns out. Okay. If they add counters into the birds, that deck could work out very well. That is a very cheap flyer. 1/2 first strike flying for 1 mana is quite cheap, I have to admit. Angel spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. Starnheim, Asbjorn. I think I've seen that before, but I should consider using that more as well. Probably. Or crafting those. It's uncommon. I should probably consider it for sure. Okay, so Cleric class in and Righteous Valkyrie in next, right? Okay, I think we should just attack with this then. Okay, if I don't draw a land, what I can do is put a level 2 Cleric class. It doesn't give anything yet, but it might give something in the future. But thus far, this is not looking super good. I think they have the stronger game going on. Youthful Valkyrie. Whenever another angel enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Youthful Valkyrie. Yeah. I think they probably will end up getting the better game from this. They also have a pretty interesting and decent take on this kind of a deck as well. I kind of like it. Okay. I think I'll put this in and then just do -3 and really hope I get something useful out of it, because I don't think I otherwise get much going. Or +1 and lifelink to Righteous Valkyrie. What about that one? Whoa! Oh. I think they have they have a lot of flyers with which to whittle away this stuff. I'm sure. And their smaller flyers have first strike as well, which. So okay, let's see if I would have. So if I would have put lifelink to Righteous Valkyrie, I could have attacked with it, and it couldn't have killed it, at least in this turn, because they have 1, 2, and 3 total, and I have 4 life. It would have given me 2 life on that turn. This would have become a flying 6 and 6, right? Then on the next turn, they could have attacked my... It starts out with... Does this start out with 4 or 5? Anyway, they could have attacked the thing with all 3. Or at least to use... They could have attacked with all 3. They would have lost 1 to Voice of the Blessed because it would be flying. Gotten 2 damage in, making it into a 3. Then on the next turn, provided... And they could have put something on the field, surely. Next turn, I would have drawn probably a land again. Put that in. Get the +1/+1 level 2 from here. Get +1 from her. Add lifelink to Voice of the Blessed. 2 flyers in. And then that would have cascaded into a 7... Oh, sorry. 7 and... yeah, 7 and 3, right? unless I have that, then it's 9 and 5. Yeah, it would have been problematic, but I don't think it was over. I feel like they had a really decent wall of flyers to try to maintain a defense if... And, I don't know. No? Fine. I will take it, but I feel like they stopped before, like... They really had an honestly decent chance still. I don't... Because my deck gets worse and worse the further the game goes. Because it draws one card, and one card is only a momentous card if I get lucky with it. The first 5 and 6 turns is where the really solid foundation goes, right? And it just sometimes doesn't work out, you know. It may have, but... Not sure what to... Well, okay, cool. That is 3 wins and 1 loss. I am flabbergasted with that result, but I super can't complain. That is unusual, strange, and I'll take it for sure. I do need to really quickly take a quick bathroom break, so I'll keep on streaming. But I'll stop the recording here, so I don't need to worry about cutting out BRB stuff and so on. So if you're watching this on YouTube, I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope it's been interesting. I also wonder if I could have won the 3rd game as well if I played that more sensibly. I possibly could have. I made a misplay before it went to shit, but that's how it goes. That's magic for you. At least for me. But yeah, and if you enjoyed, smash that like button like it's a righteous Valkyrie or something. Yes. With a big hammer. Yes. And stuff. Subscribe. Yes. Have a good one, and see you in the next one. Bye.